Good morning, everybody. It's really early here in the hangar, still dark out. Got a jet out there firing up, getting ready to leave. Long time in the making. Today is the day we're picking up our new airplane. Only a couple members got close to figuring out or guessing what the airplane was, and we needed to find a very specific airplane that could achieve the mission that we're on. And this is a very special build that we plan on doing over the next few months. So now we got a long day of flights on the airlines, a lot of hours driving, and I'm gonna update you along the way on why we chose this aircraft and what we're gonna be doing with it.
We've been planning this plane for probably almost a year. We knew what the idea was, what we're gonna do. The hardest part was finding the plane that could actually do it. And you guys are gonna find out today what the plane is. Nobody really guessed it on social media so far. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. We've got about a couple of months worth of things that we're doing to the airplane once we get it here. We've got a 7-hour flight and then a 3-hour drive to get to the factory. Most of the plane is done. We're doing some really unique stuff to the panel. We've got Banyan Air Service involved in doing the designs and the engineering on what's going to happen with the electrical system on the airplane and what we're doing. Some really unique stuff because we're turning this plane into an ultimate something, which you'll see. We haven't seen it done yet. Until now, there really hasn't been a lot of the right technology to do what we're trying to do. Plane got painted a really cool custom paint job. The panel, we're hoping, is going to get wrapped up in the next few days while we're there. And then we get the test flights and get the plane ferried back. Hopefully everything goes well. So we had to get products that were like innovative. Obviously, the builds we've done in the past on overlanding and E3, off-road, E3 camping, RVing, we didn't have a weight issue. So one of the things that we needed to make sure we did in this special build was the stuff had to be light, had to be innovative and effective for what we're trying to do. We got all the companies lined up, and some I'm real excited to share with you guys, and some really cool things, some real innovative type stuff. So looking forward to that piece. So by now you probably had a bunch of hints on where the factory is and where we're going, just by seeing the weather, where we flew into stuff. But we're still 3 hours away from the factory. So on to the next leg of the journey.
Have your driver license and your paper.
We're on the last leg of our journey getting to the factory. You probably get a little bit more hints about what's going on. Got some snow going on here and stuff. Big truck that I have to actually physically drive this truck. It's actually freaking me out a little bit. We got a big 4-wheel drive pickup, crew cabin in case we get into any more snow, but that might give you a little more hint of where we're going, where the factory is. I'm excited for you guys to see this plane. First of all, it's got a really great custom paint job. It's got a couple of really cool custom accessories. They're just wrapping up the panel. We did some extra stuff on the panel, some things I don't want to spill the beans on yet that you'll get to see. I've only seen the pictures so far and some of the schematics and stuff that they sent over to me to approve and things. It's looking really good. We're into some beautiful country right now.
After 7 hours of flights, 3 hours of driving, 1 lost bag, we finally made it to pick up our aircraft. Welcome to CubCrafters. So welcome to the CubCrafters Completion Center. This is where our airplane is. It's almost done. We've been working on this project for almost a year now, and we have some really exciting things in store for it. So without further ado, we want to introduce you to our new FX3. Now the plane is almost done. They're just wrapping up the panel right now. We got an IFR panel going in there. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the different panels that they have available, why we chose this particular panel. We're also going to talk to you about what we're doing with this airplane. Why was it a year in the making? Because we had to do a lot of research, look for a lot of innovative products and things, because we're going to be turning this into the ultimate backcountry camping aircraft. All electric. Some really cool innovative products that we're going to share with you on what we're doing here. But before we go there, I want to talk to you a little bit about where we're at right now. So let me first talk a little bit about the panel and why we chose this particular panel. Now here at CubCrafters, there are two IFR panels that you can choose from. We're going with the level 1 panel, which has got the GTN in it. But if you want to go to the level 2 panel where you got ILSs and things of that sort, you're going to get into the Garmin 650 and stuff, but we're going with the first level panel. And they're just getting ready to kind of get this all put together. In the next day or two, they're going to have everything getting installed. They're finishing up the wiring and stuff right now. But there's some other really interesting add-ons that we're going to be putting into this panel. And it has to do with how we're going to be building out this all-electric camping bush plane. We're going to be adding some extra switches that have to do with this build that we're doing for camping. Now what we have here is this is going to go in the middle of the panel, and these switches are one, fuel transfer. Now this fuel transfer is going to be the switch that transfers the fuel from the extended belly tank here up to the left main tank. It also has a little light here, so when this switch is on, it's illuminated so you know that that transfer pump is actually running. The next switch is important, is going to be an accessory switch. Now this accessory switch is going to have a dedicated bus after the alternator to the dedicated bus to this 40 amp switch that'll then drive wires back to the middle of the plane. That's where we're going to have a 12 volt to 24 volt DC to DC inverter that is going to be charging the lithium battery. Not lithium ion, so stick with me on that. Then we have our Starlink switch. Now the Starlink switch is going to come after the IBBS system. If you know the CubCrafters, and especially the FX3, EX3, there's an IBBS, Instrument Backup Battery System, where I can flip the switch before you even get in the airplane and start the airplane, and it fires up all the electronics. It's a backup if you happen to lose your batteries and stuff, but it allows you to get all your electronics running before you even get in the plane and start up. So when you do get in the plane to start up, all your engine instruments are running, everything's there, all your equipment's up. The reason I'm putting the Starlink after this is so that when I flip that switch, I have the Starlink on. The Starlink is firing up and it's acquiring the satellites before I get in the aircraft. And then if you get to somewhere where you're just running in, or maybe you're fueling or something like that, you can keep the IBBS running. It keeps the Starlink on so it doesn't kill the satellites and then it has to reboot. This Starlink is going to be after the IBBS. The last switch that's going to be on here is called the cams. We're setting this plane up so that when we flip the switch on, the cameras start recording instantly, and then we can flip the switch off and the cameras stop recording. If any of you do stuff like the i360s or GoPros or anything like that, you always know that that's usually a hassle trying to deal with your batteries or needing an app where you got to try to go through and turn on all different cameras. Sometimes we might be flying with 4 or 5 cameras that are running on this plane depending on the project that we're doing. So now this will all be pre-wired throughout the aircraft, and we'll have the ability to flip that switch and the cameras start recording. That's what we're doing on the panel here. They're almost done with it. Hopefully in the next day or two, this part will be all wrapped up. We're going to give you a little bit more background on the airplane as we go throughout the week here in the delivery center. That's where we're going, folks. We're looking forward to sharing more on this build. Let's do a quick update on where we're at on the plane. If you remember, we talked a little bit about these switches that we're adding to it. One of them is the cam switch. And then of course, here's where it's going to terminate. And you wouldn't expect anything less than exceptional craftsmanship from CubCrafters. And here's what they're doing for us. This cam switch, when we switch, will turn on all the cameras from the start recording. They're pre-wiring the plane out here to the wing, and you've got this inspection panel that up inside will have our USB-Cs. 2 of them here that come through the inspection panel that'll sit here for us to be able to power the cameras on this side. And they did the same thing on the other side. So let's take a minute. I want to talk a little bit about the belly pod. When we get the plane back to Florida, we're going to do a full in-depth walk around of this whole aircraft. But right now, I just want to show you some of the special features on here that I think you really appreciate. One of the other switches we have here is the fuel transfer pump. So we have the 25-gallon Lew Aero belly pod, which is storing some extra fuel. So an extra 25 gallons in addition to the long-range tanks that are up top. How this system works is you're going to run down your left wing tank, and when it gets down enough, you're going to hit this transfer switch, pump will go on, it'll transfer fuel back up into here. There's also a drain so you can't overfill it. So if it needs to, it'll drain right back down into that tank. That's what we're doing on this switch. Let's step back for a minute because I want to talk to you about this paint job. Number one, it's the first one CubCrafters did. Number two, it's the only one CubCrafters did. And number three, from talking to the paint team, it's probably the only one they're ever going to do because there was a lot of meticulous work going on here. And to do it at the level of a CubCrafters, you can imagine it took a lot of time. Basically what they did is they had a projector down here and projected the image of the digital camo onto the airplane and had to go and trace every single little spot and then layer on layer paint this particular aircraft. Very special paint job, looks incredible, and CubCrafters did an awesome job on it. I just think it's going to do us really well here at E3. Let's jump inside the airplane because I want to show you something that you probably don't see very often on a CubCrafters aircraft. So let me show you this really unique upgrade to this aircraft. This is called the AMSafe, and it's basically airbags for this plane. You can see all the control systems and things here, and it works on basically an accelerometer. So if it stops too fast or you hit something or nose over or something like that, this airbag system will go off. Now, it's also much more comfortable. You probably heard me complain in some of my other aircrafts where my seatbelts come down and kind of chafe away at my neck and we put some sheepskin and stuff like that. But this is a way better option and it's a really great safe upgrade that can definitely make a difference in saving your life if you hit something or nose over. Quick update on how the plane's going. They're almost done. They're wrapping up the panel. We got our level 1 IFR panel here. We got our G5 going in, our backup. G3X will be going here in the center, and we got our GTN here. Then they'll be mounting the switch panels that we've talked about multiple times that drive all the accessories we talked about. The moment we've all been waiting for. What are we doing with this aircraft? What we're doing is we're going to be creating the ultimate all-electric backcountry camping aircraft. Now, to be able to create the ultimate backcountry camping aircraft, we needed the ultimate platform to do it on. So we chose an FX3. We didn't choose the X-Cub, we didn't choose an FX2, we very specifically chose an FX3. And as we're going through this build the next couple of months, we're going to show you why. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be going into this camping build. And what we've done is we've weighed right down to the pens and pencils, everything that's going to be incorporated into this build. So what we want to do is we want to weigh the aircraft as is before any modifications that we made here in the factory before it gets to us in Florida. So we haven't done anything yet. We left the wheels and tires, everything the way it is. And I need this aircraft to be less than 1,200 pounds. I want a 150-pound buffer between our gross weight and what it's going to be at the end of the build. Now, I haven't seen the weight in this aircraft yet, and I want to make sure that we're at least 150 pounds under gross when we're done with this build. We had a lot of strategic conversations with our partners that are all part of this build, as well as the CubCrafters team, and I'm hoping that we can achieve that. So I need this aircraft to be at 1,200 pounds before it leaves here in the factory. Now, fortunately, we have Jason Bass, who's in charge of the completion center here at CubCrafters, who's going to help us weigh the aircraft and walk through the procedure on doing it. A couple things I was hoping you could tell me about this airplane, because one thing that helped us in weight savings is the paint job on this.
Yes, so this airplane, unlike a lot of other airplanes, it just has Polytone on it. A lot of airplanes have more of a urethane paint on this. This is about a fourth of the weight as a urethane paint, so it helps a lot in weight savings. It still gives all the UV and moisture protective of other paint, but it saves a lot of weight. Okay,
and I know from talking to the paint team, they said this is the first one they did like this, the only one they did like this, and the one they'll never do like this again. So it's a pretty intricate paint job, right?
Yeah, so what we did was use lasers, and we put it up there and we marked everything out. So we painted a base color Polytone, which is silver Polytone. Then we put lasers on there, each little square, marked it out individually. It was a pretty long process, but as you can tell, the airplane looks amazing.
Okay, it sure does. I mean, it came out spectacular. And most importantly, it's probably the best platform that we could have to do the kind of project that we're doing. How much weight do you think that saved?
So doing Polytone like this, you probably save about 15 pounds.
Okay, well, we're about to find out if that made what we needed to do, right? So what's the process that we're gonna go through in weighing the aircraft?
So right now we put everything in there that should be in there to weigh the airplanes. You're talking your POH, all the inspection panels that need to be in there. Then what we're gonna do is gonna roll it up to the scales, make sure the airplane's leveled out, and then we'll read off the weight.
Okay, let's go do it.
All right, let's do it. Set on the scale there. Hey Brian, check this out.
Oh boy, We did it.
We did it.
1169, well under the number I needed. So we even got even more buffer in this build. So I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is a perfect airplane for it. It's gonna be awesome.
Great, next step, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Finally, a year later of planning and research that we needed to do to make this thing happen, the day has come. They're just wrapping up the build now, they're finishing the plane, and we're just waiting for the ferry pilot to show up, and he's gonna get in this plane and get it to us in Florida. It's probably gonna take 3 to 4 days for him to get there. Now, we've got a lot of companies, a ton of innovation, and all kinds of research that we've had to do to get ready to turn this into the ultimate camping aircraft. If you want to follow that journey, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can follow along with us. So until then, we will see you on the next one. Take care.